Legislative Council. In the sixth part of Indian Constitution, legislator, constitution, tenure, officer, procedures, privilege, and powers have been mentioned in Article 168 to 212. According to Article 168 of the Constitution, there will be legislator for each state, which will be formed by the governor. In the states where there are two houses of the legislature, one is named the Legislative Council and other is Legislative Assembly. The Legislative Council is the upper house, while the Legislative Assembly is the lower house. First house, the popular house. The provision of establishment of legislative council has been made in the state to make process of law making more transparent and to represent senior politicians. Having the legislative council reflects the political stability and soundness of the state concerned. There is a provision in the constitution that the states where the legislative council is present can be abolished and it can be created in the state where there is no legislative council. There is a general process for abolition and creation in which there is no need to amend the constitution. According to Article 169, the Legislative Assembly of any state passes by the majority of the total number of members and by two-third majority of voters and members present. Then the Parliament creates or eliminates legislative councils. At present, there are legislative councils in 6 states: Karnataka, Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, Bihar, and Kashmir, Andhra Pradesh, and Telangana. Rajasthan is the only state where the proposal has been passed in connection with the formation of legislative council by the cabinet. Structure or organization of the legislative council. According to Article 171 of the Constitution, the number of members of the Legislative Council of each state will not exceed 1/3 of the number of members of its Legislative Assembly. In any case, its membership should not be less than 40. 1/4 members or 10 members of total members, which is higher, called the quorum. Election board for Legislative Council. These members are directly elected by a single transferable vote according to proportional representation method. Electoral board of local bodies. 1/3 members of total members are elected by the members of municipalities, district council, and other local bodies. Electoral roles of the assembly. Members of the assembly, MLA, elect 1/3 member of the total number of from the people who are not members of the assembly. Electoral board of teacher. 1/12 of total members are elected by teachers who have 3 years teaching experience in secondary or higher education institution. Electoral college or graduates. 1/12 of the total member of the council by the graduates who have passed graduation examination 3 years earlier. Members nominated by the governor. Approximately 1/6 members of the total number are nominated by the governor who are of a particular interest in areas of literature, science, art, social service, and cooperative movement. There can not be a challenge in the court about the justification of nominated members by the governor. On August 28, 2003, Parliament passed the People Representation Amendment Act 2003, in which provision of open voting system for the legislative councils of the state has been made. With this amendment, the necessity of being the voter of the respective state has been terminated for the candidate contesting election of state legislative council. Period tenure of a legislative council. The legislative council is a permanent house like a RAJ.HC. The governor cannot dismiss it. 1/3 members of a legislative council are retired at the end of every second year, and the new members are elected in their place. The legislative council members, MLC, have a tenure of 6 years. Office bearers of Legislative Council. The Legislative Council chooses its chairman and deputy chairman from its members. The chairman and deputy chairman remain on their post till they are member of the House. There should be 2 meetings of the Legislative Council in a year, and there should not be a gap of more than 6 months between the 2 meetings. Legislative Council members' qualification. He is a citizen of India. He has completed at least 30 years of age. She must not occupy the post of any benefit under the union or the state government. Other such qualification determined under any method created by Parliament. Powers of legislator. Legislative powers. Ordinary legislation can also be proposed in the Legislative Council, and the simple bill is required to be passed by both the houses of legislature. The Legislative Council can delay an ordinary bill for 4 months. Financial powers. Financial bill can not be submitted in the Legislative Council like the Rajya Sabha. Legislative Parishad can delay the finance bill for a period of only 14 days. Executive powers. The state cabinet is responsible to the lower house, namely the Legislative Assembly. The Legislative Council can only investigate and criticize the function of the Council of Ministers by asking questions or through various proposals or motions. The Legislative Council cannot pass the vote of no confidence proposal against the cabinet. Only the elected members of the Legislative Assembly participate in the election of the President of India. Members of the Legislative Council have no role in this regard. Indian state duties and numbers of members of legislature. Andhra Pradesh, capital Amravati. Member of Legislative Assembly 175. Member of Legislative Council 50. Assam, capital Dispur. Member of the Legislative Assembly 126. State Bihar, capital Patna. 243 MLAs. 75 Member of Legislative Council. Gujarat, capital Gandhinagar. Member of the Legislative Assembly 182. Kerala, Trivanthapuram. 140 Legislative Assembly. 140 member of Legislative Assembly. Madhya Pradesh, capital Bhopal, 230 member of Legislative Assembly. Tamil Nadu, capital Chennai, 234 member of Legislative Assembly. Maharashtra, capital Mumbai, 288 member of Legislative Assembly, 78 member of Legislative Council. Karnataka, capital Bengaluru, 224 member of Legislative Assembly, 75 member of Legislative Council. Odisha, capital Bhubaneswar, 147 member of Legislative Assembly. Punjab, capital Chandigarh, 117 member of Legislative Assembly. Rajasthan, capital Jaipur, 200 member of Legislative Assembly. Uttar Pradesh, capital Lucknow, 403 member of Legislative Assembly, 100 member of Legislative Council. West Bengal, capital Kolkata, 294 member of Legislative Assembly. Nagaland, Kohima, 60 member of Legislative Assembly. Haryana, state capital Chandigarh, 90 member of Legislative Assembly. Himachal Pradesh, capital Shimla, 68 member of Legislative Assembly. Manipur, capital Imphal, 60 member of Legislative Assembly. Tripura, capital Agartala, 60 member of Legislative Assembly. Meghalaya, capital Shillong, 60 member of Legislative Assembly. Sikkim, capital Gangtok, 32 member of Legislative Assembly. Mizoram, capital Aizawl, 40 member of Legislative Assembly. Uttar Pradesh, capital Itanagar, 60 member of Legislative Assembly. Goa, Panaji, 40 member of Legislative Assembly. Chhattisgarh, capital Raipur, 90 member of Legislative Assembly. Uttarakhand, capital Dehradun, 70 member of Legislative Assembly. Jharkhand, capital Ranchi, 81 member of Legislative Assembly. Telangana, capital Hyderabad, 119 member of Legislative Assembly, 40 member of Legislative Council. Delhi, capital New Delhi, 70 member of Legislative Assembly. Puducherry, capital Puducherry, 30 member of Legislative Assembly. Jammu and Kashmir has been divided into two union territories, Jammu and Kashmir Union Territory and Ladakh Union Territory. Important facts. On April 18, 2012, the resolution related to the Constitution of the Legislative Council was passed in the Rajasthan Assembly and sent to the Union Government. Rajasthan Legislative Council is proposed to be of 66 members. 22 members will be elected by local bodies. 22 members will be elected by the MLAs. 11 members will be nominated on the basis of literature, science, arts, social service, cooperative movement by the governor. 6 members will be elected by graduate degree holders since the last 3 years. 5 members will be elected by teachers who teach classes at secondary and higher level since at least 3 years. Important question. Which amendment act of the Constitution of India delimits the size of a Council of Ministers of Rajasthan? Constitution Amendment 91st Amendment Act 2003. Which of the following is not a parliamentary secretary in Rajasthan government? Dr. Anant Kumar. According to Constitutional Amendment 91st Act 2003, what should be the maximum number of state cabinet? 15% of total members of Assembly. What is the minimum age for becoming a member of Legislative Council? 30 years. In which articles is the organization constitution tenure of the state legislature mentioned? Article 168 to 212. According to which article of the Constitution there will be a legislator for each state? Article 168. What is called upper house of the state legislature? Legislative Council. How many states have the Legislative Council at present? 2. 3. How long is the tenure of the member of Legislative Council? 6 years. To whom the state's cabinet responsible? Legislative Assembly. What number of members is prescribed for Rajasthan Legislative Council? 66 members. What is the number of assembly members in Himachal Pradesh? 68. Secretariat of Rajasthan Government. In order to provide necessary administrative support and consultation to the Chief Minister and his Council of Ministers at the state level, an administrative body is functioning in the name of Government Secretariat. All the top government functions of the state are done in the Secretariat. The Government Secretariat is divided into various departments. The Secretariat in Rajasthan was established in the year 1949. The establishment of Secretariat was made after the formation of Rajasthan by the first ordinance issued as Rajasthan Administrative Ordinance. After the unification of Rajasthan, Rao Committee was formed on the recommendation of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. The committee gave recommendation about the different offices and cities. Administrative Secretariat of Rajasthan. Secretariat work in the state was started in the Vidhayak Niwas Bhavan. The Secretariat office was transferred to Jaipur in April 1949. In addition to the main building of government secretariat, some departments of the state government are being set up in the mini secretariat and the Jalana institutional area, which are the executive division of the secretariat. Organization of the secretariat. According to Article 154 of the Constitution, the governor is at the top of the governance in any state, and all the executive power of the state are vested in governor, and he uses them according to the Constitution himself or through the subordinate officer. The Chief Minister of the state, his Council of Ministers and Secretariat and other officers exercise the powers of the governor in practical. The chief of the state administration is the chief minister, who is also the controller of secretariat. Organizationally, the head of the state secretariat is the chief minister, head of the Council of Ministers. The other members of the Council of Ministers are the political heads of the various departments of the secretariat. In which department what will be the level of ministers and what task he will be given etc. are described in the rules of business or procedure rules. At the top of each department of the secretariat is secretary, and the head of each department is the government secretary. The government secretary is the super time scale officer of all India services. Under the principal secretary to the government, there is the post of additional secretary or special secretary who is an IS officer of the selection scale. IS officers of the senior scale or officials of super time selection scale of officers or state administrative services posted under the special secretary are also called as deputy secretarials. In the secretariat, the officers of the Indian Administrative Service, Rajasthan Administrative Service, Rajasthan Accounts Service, Rajasthan Secretariat Service, Rajasthan Higher Judicial Service, etc. are appointed as a deputy secretary. The Secretariat is a coordinating body of the state administration. Details of its functioning are contained in the Secretariat Manual. Functions of the Government Secretariat. On being the highest administrative body of the state administration, the Secretariat function on policy and legislation and control of a subordinate institution. The function of all department of the state Secretariat or any other department are as follows: policy making and planning, law and regulation, administration and leadership of administrative functions, arranging personnel, to coordinate, to maintain public relation and public grievance redressal. Budget making and execution implementation, to control and evaluate preparation of facts and reports. The list of functions of Secretariat is as detailed as of public administration. Various changes have been made in accordance with the recommendation of several committees constituted for revising and improving the functioning of the Secretariat and its department in Rajasthan. These included the Rajasthan Administrative Reforms Committees in 1963, Shri Harish Chandra Mathur Committee, Administrative Reforms Commission 1966 to 70, Rajasthan Secretariat Reorganization Committee 1969, Mohan Mukherjee Committee, Secretariat Process Committee 1971, Administrative Reform Committee 1992 to 1995, Bannoth Committee and Administrative Reform Commission 1999 to 2001, the Shiv Charan Mathur Commission etc. The organizational structure of the Secretariat: Chief Minister, then Cabinet Minister, State Minister, Deputy Minister, then Parliamentary Secretary. This is the political level. Then comes the administrative level. Then Chief Secretary, Additional Chief Secretary, Principal Secretary of a concerned department, then Special or Additional Secretary, then Deputy Secretary, Assistant Secretary, Section Officer, then other ministerial staff. Pattern of relationship between the Secretariat and directorates. The directorates are the executive arm of the state government. They translate into action the policies that are framed through the state secretariat. Even though the conditions of directorates and executive agencies are often used interchangeably, directorates are but one kind of executive agency. Directorates are classified into two categories: attached offices and subordinate offices. This classified facilitates academic comprehension of the roles which the two kinds perform in policy execution. Local administration. Because the directorates are concerned with policy execution and the execution of policy necessarily take place in the field, i.e. at the district, block and village stages, the need arises for them directorates to make intermediate stage administrative agencies to coordinate and supervise the field operations. This intermediate stage administrative setup flanked by the state headquarters directorate and the district is referred to as a local administration. The generic term, which is used to refer to local state agencies and those at district and lower stages. They could be described substatal agencies because they exist at stages below the state headquarters. Each region comprises a sure number of districts. Therefore, a region is a real unit below the state stage and above the district stage. As a rule, though not always, all executive departments at the state headquarters have local organizations. Names which these local agencies carry vary from department to department. Divisional commissioners. Divisional commissioners referred to above are local agencies in respect of the state's revenue function. Work of revenue administration at the state headquarters is entrusted not to a government department but to an autonomous agency described as the Board of Revenue. So divisional commissioners are but the local stage representatives of the Board of Revenue. Important facts. All the top government functions of the state are done in Secretariat. The Secretariat in Rajasthan was established in the year 1949. Secretariat work in the state was started in Vidhayak Nivas Bhavan. The Secretariat office was transferred to Jaipur in April 1949. According to Article 154 of the Constitution, the governor is at the top of governance in any state and all the executive power of the state are vested in governor and he uses them according to the Constitution himself or through his subordinate officers. In absence of speaker, who among the following will certify a bill passed by the Legislative Assembly before it is sent to the governor? Secretary of the Secretariat of Legislative Assembly. E. Secretariat is a project of state government. What is the department located in the state secretariat in Rajasthan known as Administrative Department? Who was the chairperson of Rajasthan Secretariat Reorganization Committee 1969? Mohan Mukherjee. In which year was the secretariat established in Rajasthan? 1949. According to which article of the Indian Constitution will the governor be on top of governance in any state? Article 154. Who is the real head of state administration? Chief Minister. Who is the head of state secretariat in organizational terms? Chief Minister. Who is the supreme time scale officer of all Indian services, government secretaries? In which building did the secretariat work in Jaipur? MLA Residential House. who is responsible for policy and lawmaking and the control of subordinate institution on being the highest administrative institution of the state administration, Secretariat. All executive power in the state are vested in Governor. Rajasthan High Court. In Chapter 5 of Part 6 of Indian Constitution, the provision related to the High Court of the states have been described from Article 214 to 32. The first provision of the formation of High Courts in India was made under the Act of 1861, and the first High Court was set up in Bombay, Madras, and Calcutta in year 1862. According to Article 214 of the Constitution, there shall be High Court for each state, but by law under the 7th Constitutional Amendment Act 1956, for two or more states, and for any union territory, same High Court can be established. Among 7 union territories, Delhi is the only union territory which has its own High Court. Currently, there are 25 High Courts in India. By the Eastern Region Reorganization and Amendment in other related laws Act 2012, Manipur, Meghalaya, and Tripura, and granted independent High Court status by separation from the regional office of the Guwahati High Court. Parliament can expand the jurisdiction area of High Court in any union territory, or union territory can be excluded from the jurisdiction area of the High Court. Constitution of a High Court. Each High Court is formed by involving a Chief Justice and such other judges whom the President may appoint from time to time. Thus, the number of judges in different High Courts is also different. Article 216. Judgeship. According to Article 217, a person will be eligible to be a judge of High Court when he/she is a citizen of India and the age of 62 years is not completed, has held a judicial post for at least 10 years, has been an advocate for 10 years continuously in one or more higher courts. Appointment of judges. The President appoints the High Court judges. Article 217 of the Constitution states that the appointment of Chief Justice will be done by consulting the Chief Justice of India and with the Governor of the state. Appointment of retired judges. The Chief Justice of High Court may at any time request the judge to act as judge in the High Court with the prior consent of a President who has worked in the office of the judge in the High Court or in that High Court. Oath. Under Article 219, the Governor of High Court administers the oath of the state to the High Court judges in which the High Court is located. Postponement and abdication. Judge of the High Court can hold his position till the age of 62, but he may at any time give his resignation to the President. On the basis of proven misconduct and inadequacies, the judge can be removed from the post by the President through impeachment motion passed by the Parliament by 1/3 majority. Transfer of judges. Under Article 222, the President can transfer the judge of any High Court in consultation with the Chief Justice of India to another court. Wages and allowances of judges. According to the 7th Pay Commission, the Chief Justice of High Court is being paid Rs 2.50 lakh per month, and the salary of other judges has been increased to Rs 2.25 lakhs per month. This pay scale has been effective from January 1, 2016. The power to determine the salary and allowances of High Court judges has been given to the Parliament. Salaries and allowances of the judges are weighted on the state consolidated fund, and the pension is received from the consolidated fund of India. Appointment of executive chief justice. Article 223 of Constitution states that when the post of chief justice of the High Court is vacant, or if he is unable to comply with his duty due to absence or other reasons, then the President can appoint one or other judges as acting chief justice. The President may also appoint additional or ad hoc judges for a maximum of 2 years to settle the additional work. Jurisdiction of the High Court. Appellate jurisdiction. The High Court has the right to hear appeals against the decision order on criminal cases of all the courts and tribunals subordinate to it. All High Courts can hear appeals in the following cases against the decision of their subordinate courts. First, appeal to the High Court in civil cases. Second, if High Court consider that in any case pending in a lower court any substantial question related to the interpretation of the Constitution is inherent, then it may ask the transfer of the matter to it. Article 228. When it is in matter of patent and design, inheritance, land acquisition, bankruptcy, and protection, etc. Appeals on both the facts and the laws in the high value cases from district judges and other subordinate judges are appealed directly to the High Court. The decision of the session judge or the additional sessions judge in a criminal appeal where imprisonment or punishment is more than 7 years. It is confirmed by the High Court before proceeding on the death sentence given by session court or additional court whether the person receiving the sentence has made an appeal or not. Or B. Original jurisdiction. The High Court has original jurisdiction in respect of revenue and tax collection in respect of infringement of original rights. This means that the High Court has the right of first hearing of the dispute directly or through the appeal in the issues of jurisdiction: will, marriage, divorce, company law, contempt of court, dispute of election of parliament and legislative assembly, the enforcement of basic rights of citizens, the matters relating to the interpretation of the Constitution, matters transferred from the subordinate courts, etc. C. Writ jurisdiction. According to Article 226 of the Constitution, every High Court can issue habeas corpus, mandamus prohibition, quo warranto, and certiorari writs to any person or authority for the implementation of the fundamental rights or other or their empowerment or for any other purpose in all the territories. First, habeas corpus. If a person understands that he has been illegibly detained, then his writ is released on his request. The court imposing this writ can ask the official to present the captive person on the fixed position within 24 hours. In these 24 hours, the holiday and the travel time are not included. Mandamus. If an officer or organization does not comply with its designated duty, then by issuing this writ, the court orders the officer to follow his duty. Prohibition. This writ, the higher court prohibits a junior court from continuing the proceeding in a particular case. It has no jurisdiction. Fourth, quo warranto. If an officer is working outside his jurisdiction, which he does not have the legal right to do, then the court issues a right-wing document asking which authority he is working under is certiorari. This writ directs to a subordinate court to send a case to the higher court for the adjudication of its pending suit, where the expansion of jurisdiction of the Supreme Court is only on the case of infringement of fundamental rights. The higher courts can issue writ in case of violation of any rights. D. Superintendence, jurisdiction, and record court. Each high court has the power of superintendence of all courts and tribunals under its jurisdiction. Record court. Similar to the Supreme Court, the higher court of every state is a record court. According to Article 215 of the Constitution, every high court has the power to punish for its contempt. At the time of proceeding in the subordinate courts, no question can be raised about this. E. Subordinate courts. The provision of subordinate courts or district courts has been made in Article 233 of the Indian Constitution. Just like the Supreme Court and High Court, some provision have been made in the Constitution to keep district courts independent from the executive. Appointment, posting, and promotion of district judges is done by the governor in consultation with the High Court. In judicial service of a state other than the district judge, appointment is made in accordance with the rules made by the governor of the state in consultation with the Public Service Commission and the relevant court. The control of the district court and their subordinate courts is contained in the higher court. The High Court acquires the sole authority to take disciplinary action against district judges and their judicial officers. F. Appointment of district judges. The governor appoints the district judge in consultation with the higher court. District judges are appointed on the basis of seniority and merit from the officers of the judicial service of the state, but on the recommendation of the court, the governor can appoint the person as the district judge who has been for at least 7 years a lawyer in the court. G. Appointment of other judges other than district judges. In addition to district judges, other judges are appointed in two ways. On the basis of the result of judicial services examination (RAJ.HC) exam Rajasthan, and on the basis of the result of the provincial judicial service exam conducted by the State Public Service Commission. Power of judicial review. The power of judicial review of the High Court is for testing of constitutionalities of both the legislature and the central government acts and executive orders. If they violate or encroach the constitution, then the High Court can declare them unconstitutional or void. Although judicial review term has not been used in the Constitution, but there is a clear provision of the review by the High Court in Article 13 and 226 of the Constitution. By the 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act 1976, the judicial review power of the High Court was reduced and the idea of constitutional interpretation of any union law was rejected by the High Court. But by the 43rd Amendment Act 1978, the original status was restored. That is, the High Court can now consider the constitutionalities of any union law. Power of judicial review. Public interest litigation (PIL) in relation to the protection of any rights of the public or to the implementation of public duty. Supreme Court has classified the cases of a class as a PIL. The pattern has been enforced by the High Court under Article 226 under its jurisdiction. Public court Lok Adalat. The lawsuits related to the mutual agreement are settled in Lok Adalat. The first Lok Adalat or public court in the country was formed in Chennai in 1986. These courts can hear the case under consideration in their jurisdiction and which can be resolved through talks. Mega Lok Adalat. The Rajasthan High Court is located in Jodhpur and its bench is established in Jaipur. The court subordinate to it are at district and tehsil level. The Lok Adalat makes an agreement on mutual consent. When it is not possible to make mutual consent, then the matter goes to the court. Village court. In order to facilitate justice near the home in small cases of villagers in Rajasthan, the first village court of the state under the Village Court Act 2008, effective from October 2, 2009, passed by the centre, was established in Bassi, Jaipur on November 27, 2010. According to the law of Justice Department, a total of 145 village courts will be opened in the state, in which 45 village courts have been opened in the state in the first phase. Important phase. In Rajasthan, the Rajasthan High Court is at the top of judicial system. Under Article 214 of the Constitution, the High Court of Rajasthan was inaugurated by Maharaja Swai Man Singh on 29 August 1949 in Jaipur. Chief Justice Kamalankant Verma and 11 other judges were administered the oath by Maharaja Swai Man Singh. On 1 November 1956, the High Court was shifted to Jodhpur in 1958 on the recommendation of Satyanarayan Rao Committee formed after the state reorganization. A bench of High Court was established on January 31, 1977 in the bench Jaipur. A panel of 50 judges has been kept in the Rajasthan High Court. The administrative system of High Court and all the subordinate courts is supervised by the registrar in the direction of Chief Justice of the High Court. An appeal can made in the High Court against the decision of all district courts of the state. Appeal can made in the Supreme Court against the decision of High Court. District courts for civil cases at district level and session courts for criminal cases have been set up. Under them, there is a civil judge court in civil cases. The first Chief Justice of Rajasthan High Court was Mr. Kamalkant Verma. Judge Shri Kailash Nath Vanshu was the Chief Justice of Rajasthan High Court who served for the longest period. Who can be appointed as chairperson of Rajasthan State Human Rights Commission, former Justice of High Court? Who among the following is not appointed by the Governor of Rajasthan? A judge of Rajasthan High Court. A High Court of Rajasthan was inaugurated by the Raj Pramukh on 29th August 1949. Which one of the following judge of the Supreme Court of India has not worked in Rajasthan High Court as a judge? Justice R.C. Lahoti. Consider the following statement regarding High Court judge. He/she appointed by the President. He/she is administered oath of office by the Governor of the state. He/she tendered his resignation to the Chief Justice of India. So first and second option is correct. Which article of Indian Constitution belong to subordinate courts? Articles 234 to 240. According to which article of the Constitution does the President Justice appoint the Chief Justice and other judges of state in consultation with the Governor of that state and the Chief Justice of India? Article 217. Consider the following about the High Court Jaipur bench. The permanent bench of Rajasthan High Court was established in 1977. The establishment of permanent bench was ordered by the Governor of Rajasthan. The order of establishment of bench was made under the State Reorganization Act 1956. Jaipur bench was not given the status of main bench. तो इसमें आपके पास फर्स्ट, थर्ड एंड फोर्थ ऑप्शन सही है, ठीक है, सेकंड गलत है अबाउट जयपुर बेंच. Consider the following about the Rajasthan State High Court. Article 213 of the Constitution provides that there shall be a High Court in each state. Judges of the State High Court are appointed by the President. Under Article 226, the High Court has the right to issue a few writs. According to provision of the Indian Constitution, only one High Court can be constituted for two or more than two states. तो इसके अंदर आपके पास थर्ड ऑप्शन करेक्ट नहीं है हाई कोर्ट के बारे में, स्टेट हाई कोर्ट के बारे में. फर्स्ट, सेकंड एंड फोर्थ ऑप्शन करेक्ट. हाउ मेनी हाई कोर्ट्स आर देयर इन इंडिया एट प्रेजेंट? 25 हाई कोर्ट्स. Who was the first Chief Justice of Rajasthan High Court? Kamalkant Verma. When was the first village court jurist of the state opened? November 27, 2010. When was the first High Court of Rajasthan inaugurated? 29 August 1949. Where was the first village court of the state opened? Jaipur. Where was the India's first Lok Adalat constituted? Chennai. Which year was the first Lok Adalat of India? 1986. Which among 7 union territories its own High Court? Delhi. District administration. The Jilla word is a synonym to the Latin word district, which means the area or unit created for the purpose of judicial administration. The purpose of the district administration is to manage the public function in the geographical area district prescribed. The word district is used in many ways, such as police district, railway district, and dark district, and revenue district, etc. According to the Oxford Dictionary, the district is a geographical area which has been set up for special administrative purposes. During the Mughal period, the district was called the Sarkar, and its chief was called Karodi Faujdar. The development of the post of current district administration and the district magistrate was in the era of British East India Company in India. In India, the then Governor General Warren Hastings created the collector post in 1772. In addition to the collection of revenue to the collector in the year 1787, the responsibility of the work of civil justice and the magistrate was also entrusted to the collector. At the time, the collector was a super powerful officer and he was called Little Napoleon. Thus he was the important local employee of the office system in the district. After independence, commencement of a community development, the acceptance of the concept of Panchayati Raj and the initiation of the public welfare state has resulted in radical change in the duties of his post. Since independence district in India, there has been an important level of administration. After independence of India, the district was adopted as an important unit of the Indian administration system. In the Constitution of India, the district word has been used in Article 233 in the context of the appointment of district judges, while the Jilla Parishad for Panchayati Raj was used in 243. In 1986, the Card Committee, chaired by G.V.K. Rao, had recommended division of the collector's development and regulatory posts works. The district is the main unit of the state administration. The district serves as a link between the state government and the public. In view of administrative facilities, the district has been divided into subdivision and subdivisions has been divided into tehsils. There are 26 districts during the unification of Rajasthan. Currently, there are 33 districts in Rajasthan. Generally, under the district administration, there is a 10 lakh population and the average area of the district is 4,000 square miles. The district level administration is mainly composed of 4 components. First, law and order administration, public superintendent works under district collector. Second, revenue administration, subdivision officer SDO. Third, development administration, district collector. Fourth, other district level department officers. The subcategories in this are district education officer, district transport officer, chief medical and health officer, district industry officer, district animal husbandry officer, district planning officer, district small saving officer. Objectives of district administration: to maintain law and order, to collect land revenue for the government, welfare of urban and rural population of the district. District collector's post. In the district administration, the post of district collector is very important. The district collector is the officer of the Indian Administration Services (IAS) at the district level. The district collector acts as the eyes, ears, and hands of the state government. The district collector is the axis of the district level administrative system. All the officers of the district administration work under his leadership. The district collector is the representative of the state government at the district level. Lord Cornwallis separated the revenue and the judicial powers of the collector in 1793, but Lord Mackenzie again increased the power of the collector. By the Act 1919, the RAJ.HC rule of governance started, and this act changed the status of collector. The district area, the jurisdiction area of the district collector was increased from April 1, 1937. In 1939, the work of the district collector was also included in the field of rural development, cooperative movement, and Gram Panchayat. In many district regions of India, the district collector is known as different names. In West Bengal, in Uttar Pradesh, it is called Jila Dandanayak, while in the states of Karnataka, Haryana, Jammu and Kashmir, Bihar, Punjab, Haryana, and Assam, it is called Deputy Commissioner. In Rajasthan, it is called District Collector. On the post of District Collector, the IAS officer who has attained administrative experience of 5 years is appointed. A person promoted from the Rajasthan Administrative Services to Indian Administrative Services is also appointed as District Collector. Role of District Collector. The District Collector is the head of the district administration. He also maintains the law and order in the public as well as oversees various development works and revenue matters. Subdivisional Officer Magistrate SDO or SDM at subdivisional level and Tehsildar at the Tehsil level under District Collector are responsible for administrative control and implementation and supervision of revenue matters. In the district level administrative system, the work and role of district collector is very vivid and comprehensive because to his excessive, Ramsay MacDonald compared the district magistrate to the turtle on whose back the Indian government's elephant is standing. In this context, Rajni Kothari has called the institutional miracle Sansthagat Karishma. In May 2005, Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee said that district collector is the axis of administration. The function and the role of district collector are as follows: as an administrative officer, as a district collector, as a district magistrate, as a development officer, as a district development officer. The district collector is the head of the district administration. At the district level, he represents the state government. The district collector is responsible for coordinating the direct district administration. At the district level, he provides the leadership to the administration. All the government officials in the district work under his leadership and get direction from him in the context of their problem. He is the axis of the district administration. The district collector acts in the middle of the district administration and the public. As a district magistrate, he oversees the supervision and control of the subordinate courts and the administration of the jails. The district collector is responsible for successful implementation of all development programs as a district development officer. As an administrator during emergency, the role of district magistrate becomes very important. During natural calamities, district collector has many responsibilities like the treatment of the injured, arrangement of accommodation, food, etc. In the circumstances like violence, loot, murder, unrest, the role of district magistrate becomes very important. Other functions: to get census done in the district, carry out execution of district development schemes and welfare programs, to fulfill the protocol related liabilities, working as chief public relation officers of the district, making the government aware of the general public desires, aspiration and various schemes, etc., to conduct election of local self-government, institution of parliament and legislative assembly, registration and reconstruction of displaced persons. District level administration, organizational structure, Rajasthan. District commissioner, controller and supervisor, then district collector, control and supervisor, which is divided into 3 categories: district level department officer administration, district collector administration, additional district collector development. Talking about the additional district collector development, we have under his revenue administration. Then additional district collector administration, we have law system, police administration, then subdivisional officer, subdivision of level, tehsildar, then patwari field level. In the district level departmental officer, there under is the district jail officer, prison administration, then superintendent of police, then additional superintendent of police, then deputy superintendent of police, then circle officer, then inspector, then sub inspector, head constable, then constable. The district collector is the president of approximately 65 types of committee. Some of the major committee are as follows: District Rural Development Agency, District Industrial Center, City Development Trust, District Planning Committee, Total Literacy Committee, Medical Relief Society, Scheduled Caste and Scheduled Tribe Prevention Committee, Central Cooperative Bank, Women's Development Committee. Subdivision administration and subdivisional officer, subdivision collectorate. For administrative convenience, each district has been divided into subdivision and in Tehsil in Rajasthan. Each subsection is subject to a subdivision officer or sub-district officer, SDO, subdivision officer. He is the official of the Rajasthan Administrative Service, RAS. Subdivision officer conduct the editing of all most important tasks relating to the administration of their area under the direction of the district collector. Role and function of a subdivision officer. SDM is the land revenue officer of the subdivision. In this form, his main responsibilities is as follows: preparation of land record of subdivision area, assessment of agriculture production of subdivision, inspection of lower officials of revenue administration like Patwari, law and land inspector, prohibiting encroachment on government land, monitoring the compliance of laws related to land revenue in the subdivision, provide instruction in relation to land revenue, disposal of disputes related to land, boundary dispute, pastoral, land record and registration, land revenue, property partition, etc. in the form of judicial officer. The subdivision officer SDM, in order to establish peace in his area, for this they have the right to inspect the area police station and police checkposts, run criminal administration and enforce section 144. As the administrative officer of the subdivision, it is the responsibility of subdivisional officer to implement economic, social and development programs in the villages, converting agricultural land to non-agricultural purpose in rural areas. Management of birth and death certificate, name change. Any person who wishes to change his name, subdivision officer has to submit his affidavit in the application form. Tehsil administration and Tehsil. Each subdivision in the state has been divided into Tehsil for revenue administration under subdivision level. The Tehsil head is Tehsildar. The Tehsildar is appointed by the Revenue Board. He is a member of Rajasthan Tehsildar Service (RTS). While being an officer in subordinate service, Tehsildar is a gazetted officer. Control of Rajasthan Tehsil Service (RTS) was entrusted to the Revenue Division in 1956. Function and role of Tehsildar. A. Works related to land revenue, formulation and protection of land records of Tehsil area, inspecting the works of Patwari, law and land inspectors, to punish the person who violate the rules and regulation in revenue collection, providing copies of revenue records. B. Judicial works or functions. Tehsildar in the Tehsil administration acts as an executive. The Tehsildar has the powers of hearing in matter related to the cultivation, grazing land, border disputes, succession, partition of lands, property encroachment on government land, etc. The work of the government papers in the Tehsil also belong to the Tehsildar. Work of land conversion for residential, industrial purpose in rural areas. Miscellaneous administration function. Control of cheaper prices, shops under public distribution system. Registration of birth and death and working as a census officer. Operation of a sub-basin. Function in the form of payment officer in relief work to fulfill the obligation of the protocol. Issuance of various types of certificates such as old age disability, widow pension, caste certificate, bona fide certificate, status certificate, etc. Patwari. The lowest but main unit of revenue administration is the village. In each district is divided into Tehsil and Tehsil is divided into villages. Patwari is the head of each village area. The post of Patwari came in vogue from Mughal period. This is the most important and lowest post in revenue administration. The office of Patwari, Patwarghar, is the main village of his revenue village area. He receives the amount of revenue due to the government and deposits it in the state treasury. He is the patron of all state non-government property in Patwar circle. Patwari, who is working at the village level, is known in different names in different states. It is known as Karnan in Tamil Nadu, Lekhapal in Uttar Pradesh, Telti in Maharashtra. The Administrative Reforms Commission had suggested changing the designation of Patwari to Lekhapal. The Patwari post in Rajasthan has an important place in administration. In Rajasthan, Patwari is selected through the examination conducted by Revenue Board Subordinate Service Selection Board. Functions of Patwari. The following functions are done by Patwari. Keep the land records. Patwari is responsible for keeping all the land records safe in the Patwarghar house of Patwar village. Managing emergency assistance, collection of land revenue. The responsibility of collecting land revenue and depositing at Tehsil headquarters is of Patwari. To improve land, ceasefire, etc. To operate revenue campaigns. To collecting village statistics. To coordinate and cooperate in overall rural development. To coordinate various works of the government and between the government departments. Rajasthan Police. India is a parliamentary democracy whose basic spirit is to establish public welfare state. Police is an important component to achieve this objective. Police in India is a subject of state list. In order to bring uniformity in the training of police officer in India and the police system across the country, a central police training college was established in Mount Abu on September 15, 1948, which was granted National Police Academy status in the year 1967. On the recommendation of Dr. S.S. Gore Committee, it was transferred to Hyderabad on February 10, 1975. Presently, this institution is known as Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel National Police Academy. Here, the police officers of IPS and paramilitary forces are trained. The Rajasthan Police was established as a result of the acquisition and merger of Princely State Police. Rajasthan Police first chief captain was R. Banerjee, Inspector General, who take charge on
April 7, 1949. The newly constructed headquarters of the Rajasthan Police (PHQ) is located in Lal Koti area of Jaipur. Rajasthan Police has 8 ranges and 2 commissionerates. Jaipur Range, Jaipur Rural, सीकर, झुंझुनू, दौसा, अलवर डिस्ट्रिक्ट. बीकानेर रेंज, बीकानेर, चूरू, श्रीगंगानगर, अमानगढ़ डिस्ट्रिक्ट. जोधपुर रेंज, जोधपुर रूरल, पाली, सिरोही, बाड़मेर, जालौर, जैसलमेर डिस्ट्रिक्ट. अजमेर रेंज, अजमेर, भीलवाड़ा, नागौर, टोंक डिस्ट्रिक्ट. उदयपुर रेंज, उदयपुर, बांसवाड़ा, डूंगरपुर, राजसमंद, चित्तौड़गढ़, प्रतापगढ़ डिस्ट्रिक्ट. कोटा रेंज, कोटा सिटी, कोटा रूरल, झालावाड़, बूंदी एंड बारां डिस्ट्रिक्ट. भरतपुर रेंज, भरतपुर, सवाई माधोपुर, धौलपुर, करौली, ईटीसी. गवर्नमेंट रेलवे पुलिस रेंज, जीआरपी मेन जयपुर, जीआरपी अजमेर एंड जीआरपी जोधपुर. जोधपुर कमिश्नरेट, जोधपुर सिटी हेडक्वार्टर्स एंड ट्रैफिक, जोधपुर सिटी वेस्ट, जोधपुर सिटी ईस्ट. जयपुर कमिश्नरेट, जयपुर सिटी. राजस्थान पुलिस एट अ ग्लैंस. रेंज 7, द कमिश्नर 2, पुलिस डिस्ट्रिक्ट 42, 40 + 2 जीआरपी. पुलिस सर्कल 214, पुलिस स्टेशन 862, पुलिस चेक पॉइंट्स 1189. स्टेट आर्म्ड पुलिस बटालियन 17. There are currently 16 armed police forces in Rajasthan: RAC Jodhpur, RAC Kota, RAC Bikaner, RAC Jaipur, RAC Jodhpur, RAC Bharatpur, RAC Delhi, RAC Tonk, RAC Bikaner, RAC Delhi, RAC Jaipur, RAC Procedure, Haddi Rani Women Battalion, Ajmer, and Mewar Bhil Corps, MBC, Udaipur.
RAC, Rajasthan Armed Constabulary, Rajasthan Armed Forces, was established in the year 1952 by the state government. Its first training center was opened in Bharatpur. It currently employs a total of 14 battalions. The latest 14th battalion was established in September 2014. This newly created battalion will provide the police force to the GDA, including transportation, excise, the commercial tax department of Rajasthan, etc. The first battalion of Rajasthan Mewar Bhil Corps (MBC) was established in January 1841 in Kherwada, Udaipur. The proposal for its establishment was given in 1837 by Colonel James Outram, the English political agent of the then Mahikantha region. This battalion was merged with the Rajasthan Police in the year 1950. Rajasthan Police Academy (RPA) was established in Jaipur in year 1975 for training of police officers and other personnel in Rajasthan. Earlier, it was working as a police training school in Chittorgarh since 1949. Registered crime anywhere in Rajasthan can be researched by CID/CB. Its 7 ranges are working as divisional headquarters. New commissioner system. Commissionerate has been started in Jaipur and Jodhpur metropolitan cities from April 1, 2011 by Rajasthan government. In this system, the powers of executive magistrate have been provided to police officer to maintain law and order. In this system, the police chief of the metropolis is called commissioner. Under him, deputy commissioner of police (DCP) is in charge at the district level, and additional deputy commissioner, additional DCP, and assistant commissioner of police (ACP) work. Anti-Corruption Bureau (ACB) is working to curb corruption in Rajasthan. The head of ACP is called the Chief Director General (DGACB). Under him, 2 inspector and 4 deputy inspector, Jaipur 1 and Jaipur 2, Jodhpur, Udaipur, are working. ACP has been divided into 12 districts. Terrorism Prevention Squad (ATS), Anti-Terrorism Squad, has been constituted on September 4, 2008 for dealing with terrorist activities and effective control over them in the state. In order to strengthen internal security in the state and to deal with organized crime, Special Operation Groups (SOG) has been constituted on January 27, 2003. In order to protect the widening railway system and rail transport in Rajasthan, the Government Railway Police (GRP) has been formed on 1st April 1949. Under the GRP, 2 police districts of Ajmer and Jodhpur are employed. Rajasthan police officer and personnel badges and stars. Director General (DGP), star IPS, hat, cross and Ashok pillar, blue. Inspector General of Police (IGP), IPS, cross and a star, blue. Deputy Inspector General (DIG), IPS, 3-star and Ashok pillar, blue. Superintendent of Police (SP), IPS, 2-star and Ashok pillar, blue. Superintendent of Police (SP), IPS, A-star and Ashok pillar, blue. Additional Superintendent of Police, Additional SP Selection Grade (RPS), A-star and Ashok pillar, blue. Additional Superintendent of Police, Additional Superintendent of Police, RPS, Ashok pillar, blue. Deputy Superintendent, RPS, 3-star, blue. Police Inspector CI, Rajasthan Police, 3 stars, khaki. Police Sub-Inspector SI, Rajasthan Police, 2 stars, khaki. Assistant Sub-Inspector ASP, Rajasthan Police, 1 star, khaki. Head Constable, Rajasthan Police, 3 star, khaki. Constable, Rajasthan Police, khaki. Divisional Commissioner, District Collector. Then below we have District Level Officer, Additional District Collector, Administration, Additional District Collector, Development. Additional District Collector is divided again in 3: Prison Administration, District Prison Officer, Law and Officer, Revenue Administration, District Revenue Officer. Then Law and Order, Superintendent of Police, SP. Additional SP, Deputy SP, Circle Inspector, Inspector, Sub-Inspector, then Head Constable and Constable. And for the Revenue Administration, District Revenue Officer, Subdivisional Officer, Tehsil, Tehsildar, then Patwari. Important facts. During the Mughal period, the district was called the Sakar and its chief was called Karudi Faujdar. In the Constitution of India, the district word has been used in the Article 233 in the context of the appointment of district judges. Lord Cornwallis separated the revenue and judicial powers of the collector in 1793, but Lord Mackenzie again increased the power of collector. Any person who wishes to change his name, subdivisional officer has to submit his affidavit in the application form. Control of Rajasthan Tehsil Service (RTS) was entrusted to the Revenue Division in 1956. The post of Patwari came in vogue from Mughal period. This is the most important and lowest post in revenue administration. Rajasthan Police first chief captain was R. Banerjee, Inspector General, who took charge in 7 April 1949. Important question. Zilla Mahila Sahayata Samiti is chaired by Zilla Pramukh. According to Rajasthan Panchayati Raj Act 1994, who is the chairman of the District Establishment Committee? Zilla Pramukh. Which of the following is not a function of the District Collector of Rajasthan? Issue of notification for election of local self bodies, to maintain law and order in the district, to monitor development projects of the district. Fourth, coordination between district administration and state government. So first option is there, which is not a function of District Collector. Whom do the Sarpanch, Up Sarpanch and a Ward Panch of village Panchayat in Rajasthan address their resignation to? Vikas Adhikari. What are the powers of district collector in the form of district Dandanayak? Maintaining law and order, control the police, examining foreign passport. D. Collecting land revenue. So collecting land revenue is not a work of district collector in the form of district Dandanayak. So option A, B, C are correct. Who of the following called institutional charisma to the district magistrate? Rajni Kothari. How many districts were there during the integration of Rajasthan? 26 districts. How many districts are currently in Rajasthan? 53. When did the Governor General of India, Warren Hastings, created the post of collector? 1772. In which article is the use of Zilla Parishad for the Panchayati Raj? Article 233. Which is the head of the district level administration? District collector. What is the population under the district administration? 1 million. Who among the following act as the eyes, ears and hands of the state government? District collector. From when did the post of Patwari came into vogue? Mughal period. District collector is called Rajasthan's district collector, who represent the state government at the district level. District magistrate. How many types of committee are headed by the district collector? 65. The Tehsildar. How many types of committees are headed by the district collector? 65. The Tehsildar is appointed by state government. When was the control over the Rajasthan Tehsil Service (RTS) transferred to the Revenue Board? 1956. To which list does the police subject included in India? State list. Who was the first head of Rajasthan Police? R. Banerjee. The newly constructed headquarters of Rajasthan PHQ is located in which city? Jaipur. How many state armed police forces are currently working in Rajasthan? 16. RAC, Rajasthan Armed Constabulary, has been established by state government. Where was the first battalion of Rajasthan Mewar Bhil Corps (MBC) established at? Kherwada. How many battalions are currently employed? 14. When was the latest 14th battalion established? September 2014. Who is working for prevention of corruption in Rajasthan? ACB, Anti-Corruption Bureau. Crimes registered in Rajasthan are investigated by CID. The number of police checkpoints in Rajasthan is 1 to 15. GRP has been set up in Rajasthan for the protection of extended railway system and railway transport. January 27, 2003. When was the anti-terrorism squad ATS formed? September 4, 2008. Which squad was set up in the state to deal with the terrorist incidents and control them effectively? Anti-terrorism squad ATS.